Beyond Offering Plate, by Nameless Saint. Stewardship is a concept that is often associated with the church and the giving of money. However, it goes beyond simply giving money and encompasses the proper management of all the resources that God has entrusted to us. Stewardship is about ownership, responsibility, accountability, and reward, and it is a way of life that involves the wise use of our time, talents, and treasures to serve God and others. Here are the 4 principles of stewardship based on biblical teachings and other theologian viewpoints. 1. Ownership. The first principle of stewardship is that everything belongs to God. Psalm chapter 24 verse 1 says, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world, and all who live in it." We do not own anything. We are simply caretakers of what God has entrusted to us. As stewards, we must recognize that all that we have, including our possessions, talents, and time, is a gift from God. John Wesley emphasized this principle of stewardship when he said, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can." This quote emphasizes the importance of using all the resources that God has given us to serve others and make a positive impact on the world. 2. Responsibility. The second principle of stewardship is that it involves responsibility. In the parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30, Jesus teaches that we are all given different talents and abilities, and it is our responsibility to use them wisely. The servants who were faithful and used their talents to produce more were praised by their master, while the servant who buried his talent was rebuked. Similarly, as stewards, we must use our resources, time, and talents to serve God and others. We must be faithful in our management and use our resources wisely, knowing that we will be held accountable for how we use them. This principle is echoed by Martin Luther, who said, "I have held many things in my hands, and I have lost them all. But whatever I have placed in God's hands, that I still possess." 3. Accountability. The third principle of stewardship is that it involves accountability. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10, Paul writes, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad." As stewards, we must realize that we will be held accountable for how we use our resources, time, and talents. We must use them in a way that honors God, serves others, and builds His kingdom. Dietrich Bonhoeffer emphasized this principle when he said, "The first service that one owes to others in the fellowship consists in listening to them." Just as love of God begins with listening to His word, so the beginning of love for the brethren is learning to listen to them. 4. Reward. The fourth principle of stewardship is that it involves reward. In Colossians chapter 3 verses 23 to 24, Paul writes, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward." It is the Lord Christ you are serving. As stewards, we must realize that our ultimate reward is in heaven. We must use our resources, time, and talents to serve God and others, knowing that we will be rewarded for our faithfulness. Theologian Henry Nouwen emphasized this principle when he said, "The spiritual life is a life in which we wait, actively present to the moment, trusting that new things will happen to us, new things that are far beyond our own imagination, fantasy, or prediction." That is the core of stewardship, to trust in God's plan for our lives and to use what we have been given to serve Him and others. In conclusion, stewardship is more than just giving money to the church. It is a way of life that involves the proper management of all the resources that God has entrusted to us. The four principles of stewardship, ownership, responsibility, accountability, and reward are based on biblical teachings. As stewards, we must recognize that everything belongs to God, use our resources wisely, be accountable for our actions, and trust in God's plan for our lives. By following these principles, we can honor God, serve others, and build His kingdom. If you enjoy watching this video, kindly consider subscribing to my channel. New content is posted daily. Thank you, and may God bless you.